returns after the Justice Department said last week that federal law compels the government to hand them over to Congress. Trump's lawyers are now urging a federal judge to block the Treasury Department and the IRS from handing the returns to the House Ways and Means Committee. That's according to federal filing, in which Trump's lawyers argue that the committee's reason for seeking the returns is simply a pretext for wanting to look for something embarrassing. We're back with Neil Katyal and Mark Leibovich. Donald Trump embarrasses himself just fine all on his own. I'm not sure they need the Ways and Means Committee to do that. But I want to go back to something that I thought of today. This is Mitt Romney in 2016 on what would be in Donald Trump's tax returns of import to the American public. We're going to select our nominee. We really ought to see from all three of these fellows what their taxes look like to see if there's an issue there, Romney said. Quote, I think in Donald Trump's case, it's likely to be a bombshell. There's been concern about Donald Trump's finances and potential financial entanglements from inside his own party for half a decade.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's clearly something that he wants to, keep secret and private. I think there's some surprise that it hasn't leaked to this point more than it has. I mean, it's been out there. I mean, our paper had a lot of revelations around it. It's obviously been in the hands of prosecutors. The Mueller report probably saw it. So, I mean, I think in some ways they're fighting against the Congress getting it is just either precedent, but also another conduit for pretty easy leaking, in which case it could be disseminated in a way that would be either embarrassing or potentially very, very exposing to Donald Trump. But yeah, this is another chapter of this. I don't think that there's a lot of political exposure to him because I think a lot of, tolerance is baked into his support. But obviously, there's just another step in the process.
I mean, Neil, ironically, the way to avoid leaking is to give it to the Congressional Committee. They're not allowed to disclose it to the public. What kind of legal case do Trump's lawyers have here?
Not a strong one. I mean, it looks like we finally found a draft that Donald Trump couldn't dodge. I mean, his lawyers today are making cockamamie legal arguments. It's not competent. Federal law on this is very clear. It requires the Treasury to turn over tax returns when any of three congressional committees ask for it. Here they have. It says they shall turn it over. Shall is mandatory. This is not hard. Donald Trump's only argument by his lawyers is that the investigation is a pretext for a political attack on him. But there is no exception in the law because Donald Trump feels like a victim. That's not a thing in the law. And the only people that this law is not clear to are the people in the world of Trumplandia who think Donald Trump can install himself as president in August, and people like Jeffrey Clark, who we were talking about earlier, who write these just bogus letters, destroying what the law in words in the English language mean. This is ridiculous, and the tax return should come out, to the Congress right away.
Do you think they will? I mean, do you think the legal argument is so faulty, Neil, that it will not prevail in front of a federal judge?
Absolutely. It's a bogus legal argument. They've got nothing to stand on.
Neil Katyal, Mark Leibovich, thank you both so much for spending some time with us. A quick break. We will be right back.